arch. So the problem I have with this is it's not actually connected securely anywhere apart from nearly at the back. So as part of being here and trying to fix things without spending any money, I'm going to make a new one out of wood. So I know then obviously it's a bit open to the element. So there's two different options. So I'm going to show you both of them options. But I've just been looking at it now, and I actually found this bimini frame the other day and asked around, and someone said I could have it. And there's actually a bit of canvas that someone also said I could have, so we can probably make a bimini out of the two. So while I'm waiting around, waiting to see about this other boat, I may as well do things that I can still obviously then just put onto that one if that ends up happening, and if it doesn't, at least I've not just been wasting time waiting to see. But because I found this bimini, I'm now a bit confused about how it's going to work. So I'm going to have to go have a look around some of the other boats, because the bimini has to go at an angle that way, so then we'll open up to around about here, just before the boom. But obviously that's then also where the solar panel frame is going to have to go. So I don't know if the solar panel frame is going to have to be up higher than the bimini arch, possibly. So I'm going to go have a look, because if it has to go up higher, I might need to rethink how I'm going to do it. But the plan is, whichever option I decide to use the rail and make a mount a bit like you see like outboard supports made. So we're going to have to go have a look around, find a boat that's got a solar panel arch and bimini on, and see kind of what configuration we're going to have to go with. So that's today's plan. Trying to sneak up on a cormorant, but I've tried this about 6 times and he always flies away when I get close. He's down there, ready to make his escape. I'm not actually sure it is a cormorant. I'm far from a bird expert. So ideally we'd have something a bit like that. That would be perfect. One on either side, looks easy to attach, and the wire runs through it. That would be the ideal to have, but it's wasted on this abandoned boat. Okay, so option one, these wooden planks are from the pontoons, but where they've got a bit damaged and needed to be replaced, there's enough hanging around, old ones, that are just to be disposed of, so there's nothing to stop us using some of them. So you might be thinking, why would you use wood that's obviously not done its job? Them wooden pontoons obviously sit just above the water all the time, and when the waves come in to here, which they do, and it rises, I might have already shown you footage, if not I will at some point do it, where the pontoons end up in the water. So if that wasn't the case, and they've probably already lasted for years and years and years, I'm not entirely sure what wood it is, but with enough varnish on, it's the same wood that is used on the swim platform on the back of my boat. So if we make sure we protect it well, it's strong, it should be okay. So that's why that's an option of what to use. As you can see, there's various bits just hanging around. Exhibit B is we use a tree. So this is what I'd like to do. However, it's going to be a lot more work, and the problem with these is I've been using not big ones like this to carve stuff out of, and by the time you actually get into it, you can very quickly realise where it's got like, I think it's like woodworm, and then all of the inside is a bit rotten. At least with the planks, you know pretty much as soon as you pick the piece up what you've got. But with this, by the time you've put a lot of time, effort, made a fairly big bit of mess, you might find that there's quite a lot of rotten bits. Obviously you can try check it as well as you can. This would be the ideal to do, but you know it's going to be a lot of work. So if I wasn't somewhere where there was enough of them wooden planks lying around, I'd go with this. I'd quite like to make a video on that, but I feel like I'm drawn towards the other just because it's going to be a lot more simple. What would be good about this is we could kind of chisel out the part to sit in and then not have to use any bolts, but we don't have any bolts, so that's something we're going to have to work out as well. This hammer looks like he spent 500 years under the sea. We're about halfway there. So we was making some progress with this, and then shock horror, the drill battery literally jumped off the end and fell in that bit of water underneath where this was. See, I don't know with this if it's safe to plug in now. Like, I was scared to take it out of the water because obviously it's a battery, so I got it out with a rubber handle of a hammer so that I didn't get electrocuted. Sometimes it's knowing where to start in it. Like, this is a lesson. We have this pump because it's quite handy. It's a foot pump for pumping the bike tyres up, but then you've got all of that to store. So really, we're better off with just a little hand pump. So that is going. So that's the snorkels washed. Next up, we're going to see if there's any hope for this. However, as you can see on the plus part of it, it's corroded. I don't know what to do. We'll think about that, because I don't really fancy electric shock this early. This is how we unblock clogged drains. We stick a stick in there. I thought that was going to be a lot bigger. Don't go in there. Oh shit. So it's blowing a strong northerly wind, which means it's going to be quite cold for the next few days. So that's going to be fun, but we'll be alright. There's actually, the captain of the port was telling me the other day it might snow. So although being full of cold, the snow's probably the last thing I need. I quite like the idea of it. I quite like the idea of the boat being covered in snow and being able to get the footage of it, and there's parts obviously that won't be ideal about that, but we'll see how we get on. It might be quite nice. Well, I'm glad the sun is just about coming over that hill, because it was freezing this morning. I had a look, 2 degrees, which for here is cold. It's a northerly wind, so it's bringing with it all the cold. But yeah, should be alright. Last night I had enough sleep, but I did something to my back yesterday, you know, and it's like tight, and being in a small boat with a tight back is a bad combination. So I've seen the captain of the port, harbour master, whichever you want to use, and they're calling about the boat for me. So fingers crossed we hear something back today and we start to make some progress towards that. I put on so many layers to come, because it was freezing and windy this morning. and now they're all sat there because I don't know what to do with them. I have to go put them all back on the boat. So the north wind continues today, but it's a bit less than yesterday. So yesterday it was gusting up to 60 knots, whereas today it's gusting up to around about 45, so a bit better than yesterday, and already it looks a bit calmer. Then I think we have like one day in the middle, a rainy day in the week. Before then the wind changes and comes in from the south, so it's not going to be too easy to get stuff done this week because of the wind, but we should still be able to get some bits done. Obviously waiting to hear back about this boat, so until we have the answer on that, we don't know for sure what we'll be doing in the week. But the plan for later today is going fruit picking to get some of these blueberries to make this. We're going to try and make some alcohol. So I'm going with a guy, the captain, and he's going to show me which ones I need to pick. So doing that around 1 o'clock. Need to carry on sorting the stuff that needs to come off the boat, but it's a bit difficult at the minute in the wind. And well, mainly because my back. I'm going to give that a go for a little bit, I think. So yeah, we'll get on and do a bit more of that. It's annoying when you injure yourself a little bit, just setback. I don't think it's all serious. This morning it was really stiff, but yeah, I've done this before. I mean, if you put yourself in an awkward position, and actually the day before yesterday, I was walking back in the dark, and I just thought there's a step coming, but just as I thought it was when I was at the step. So I rarely fall over, but sometimes I think if I just fell over it would have been less painful overall, but I think it'll probably be alright in a few days. Gonna make ourselves some cordial? No, some grenadine cordial. It's just like a juice, but if I put it in the fridge now it'll be cold just after lunch, so it should be quite nice. I thought we found piece number 3, but the problem is that crack runs all the way down, so that one is no good. However, that one will do. The cat just scared the life of me, just hiding there in the bush. And next up, we're searching for some salad. So this you can use to cook, or you can just eat it as a salad. It's got like a fairly unique taste, but actually pretty good, and grows down by the sea, but I haven't found that much of it yet. I'm on the lookout for it because
I mean, even that amount, tuna salad just gives it a bit of an extra crunch, and spring onions are expensive. I need some greens in my life.